Archangel Michael says, your miracle has finally arrived, but if you ignore this final warning, heaven will take it back within minutes. The miracle you have prayed for, cried for in the quiet hours of the night, begged heaven for during seasons of deep pain and confusion, is here now. It is not delayed. It is not coming in a distant future. It is not on its way. Archangel Michael is declaring with fire and finality that your miracle has finally arrived. The breakthrough, the restoration, the healing, the freedom, the door you have been knocking on with weary hands has swung open. It is present. It is real. But heaven is not whispering today. Heaven is sounding a trumpet. This is your final warning. If you ignore this moment, if you dismiss this divine interruption, if your heart turns away in doubt, then within minutes, what was placed in your hands can be lifted again. This message is not for the passive. It is not for the cold. It is for the ones who know deep in their spirit that something sacred is being handed to them right now. Comment Amen to receive this in your spirit fully and without resistance. This is not just another promise. This is not another season of waiting. You have crossed into a time where heaven has decided to act on your behalf. The angelic realm has been dispatched, and Michael has been released not with a soft word, but with a sword in hand, to clear the path, to war for what is yours, to remove everything that stood in the way of your miracle. And yet, heaven is saying with urgency, if this is not honored, if this moment is not recognized, it will be withdrawn. Not because you are being punished. Not because God is cruel. But because when heaven opens the gates and you look away, you close the door yourself. If this is reaching you now, it is because your name has been called. Your case has been brought before the throne. The delay was never denial. The silence was never abandonment. It was preparation for this sacred hour. Do not mistake it. Do not scroll past it. Do not harden your heart or quiet your faith. The warning is real, and it is final. Do not miss what God is placing in your life at this very hour. Like this, if your heart is open to receive your miracle today, let heaven see your faith in motion. God is still on the throne, and His eyes have been fixed on you from the beginning. He saw every night you wept alone. He heard every prayer when your voice trembled and your hope felt like it was slipping away. You were not overlooked. You were not forgotten. Archangel Michael is coming forth now with the strength of heaven behind him, carrying the answer to the prayers you thought were buried beneath time and disappointment. This is your moment. It is holy. And it matters that you hold on to it with everything in you. Do not be distracted. Do not entertain the lie that says this is for someone else. If you are hearing this now, it is for you. The battle in the spirit has been raging. There are things you have never seen that have tried to steal what God set apart for your life. But Michael, God's appointed warrior, did not grow weary. He stood firm for you. He fought for your miracle. And now, it is here. Comment 11:11 if you believe this is your divine hour of release. This moment carries weight. It is not entertainment. It is not noise. It is a spiritual checkpoint in your life. You have walked through fires that should have burned you. You have carried burdens that should have broken you. But the reason you are still standing is because heaven never left you. Angels were sent long before you realized you were in a battle. And now the victory has come to your doorstep. God is not confused. He knows who you are. He knows your heart. And He has chosen you for this divine moment not because of your perfection, but because of your perseverance. You did not give up. You did not turn away. You did not curse His name even when your hands were empty. That faith is now being honored, and the miracle is your reward. But this is the final warning. The enemy is watching. He is hoping you delay. He is hoping you doubt. Because if he can convince you to ignore what heaven is placing in your life right now, the moment will pass, and the miracle will be retracted. It is not because God is cruel, but because heaven honors movement. Faith without action is dead, and now is the time to act. You must receive this word as a divine command. You must open your hands and say with your whole spirit, I will not let this pass me by. Because the truth is, heaven is generous, but heaven is not casual. What is holy must be treated as holy. And your miracle is not a rumor. It is not wishful thinking. It is the fulfillment of what God promised over your life from the beginning of your story. Comment 222 if you trust this miracle is being placed into your hands even now. The angels of the Lord are surrounding you. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. This is not the end of your story. It is the turning point. Michael does not speak without divine authority, and his word to you now is urgent and final. Your miracle is here. Do not miss it. Do not delay. Let your heart believe, and let your spirit take hold of it fully. Heaven is open. Your name has been spoken in the courts of glory. You are being remembered in the place that matters most. The answer has already left the throne. The only thing left is your response. There are sacred moments when time folds and eternity presses in, where the window between heaven and earth becomes thin. This is one of those moments. Not by accident. Not by randomness. You are hearing this now because heaven has summoned you to receive, but also to revere. You have come too far, cried too long, and endured too much to ignore what is being handed to you now. The spiritual atmosphere around you is shifting. You may feel it as a weight in your chest or a stirring in your soul. That is because the power of God is pressing in closer. The angels are standing guard around what is being released into your life. Is it time you unlock the same CIA secret brain ritual changing lives in seconds? A new leak has revealed a powerful 7-second technique, developed under CIA-funded research and backed by neuroscience. It's helping people magnetize wealth like never before. From debt to luxury, faster than anyone believed. But this miracle won't stay public for long. Click the link in the description and comments now before it's deleted forever. You may feel tired from waiting. You may feel scarred from the delays. But heaven did not forget you. God did not abandon your cry. He was preparing you, strengthening you, building you quietly behind the pain, so that when the miracle finally arrived, you would not only recognize it, but you would be strong enough to carry it. This is not a temporary blessing. This is a divine inheritance. But it can only be yours if you listen now and hold it with holy fear, because heaven does not place sacred things into careless hands. Comment 333 if your heart is ready to declare your faith over this word. You are not alone in this. Even when you were silent about your struggles, heaven was loud in your defense. Michael does not move unless the command is urgent, and today he moves with power because something must be delivered, and something must be protected. The miracle you are receiving now is not just a gift, it is also a target. That is why Archangel Michael is standing guard. The enemy has seen the shift, and he is angry. But the Lion of Judah has spoken. No weapon formed against this promise will prosper, unless you allow doubt to make room for the thief. If you dismiss this warning, if you hesitate in belief, if you ignore the final cry from heaven to act, the blessing will lift. God is not cruel. He is righteous. He is holy. And because what is being given to you has been fought for in the unseen realm, it must be honored. That is why the warning is sharp. It is not to frighten you, but to awaken you. So you do not lose again what was always meant to be yours. This is not about being good enough. It's not about being perfect. It's about being willing. It's about surrendering every ounce of fear and saying with trembling faith, Lord, I receive it. The protection over your life has not changed. The angels that have walked beside you since childhood are still watching. But what has changed now is that heaven is moving from holding your miracle back to releasing it into your hands. And the only thing that can stop it now is if you choose not to believe. If you give in to the doubt, if you treat this moment like noise or a passing word, it will lift. Not in anger, but in righteousness. Because heaven's resources are sacred. And God cannot give what you refuse to hold with holy hands. Michael is not coming with comfort. He is coming with conviction. Because some blessings require fire. Some miracles arrive with a sword. And what you are about to walk into will require you to carry both, your miracle in one hand and your faith in the other. But you will not be alone. The protection that surrounds you now is fierce. The covering over your name is unshakable. The banner of heaven is already raised over your life. Comment 555 if you are claiming this protection and this promise as your own. You have been set apart. You have been chosen not by men, but by God. The shaking you felt, the losses, the heartbreaks, the closed doors, none of it was random. It was pruning. It was training. Because heaven knew that when your miracle finally arrived, you would need to be ready, alert, and spiritually aware. The world may not see what's happening, but you do. You feel it. And that's why you cannot dismiss this now. This is your moment to step forward in faith, even with trembling hands. To say, God, I will not miss this. I will not allow fear to steal this. I will hold on to this miracle and treat it as holy. Because it is. And if you do, what was once impossible will unfold right in front of you. Not as a distant hope, but as a present reality. But there is an urgency in this hour because heaven has given a final warning. The moment must be honored. The miracle must be recognized. And if you ignore this divine nudge, what was released can be retracted within moments. Not because God is unkind, but because He is holy, and what He gives must be treasured. Comment 12:12 if your heart is open to receive and protect what heaven has brought to you. This is not like other moments. This isn't just another encouraging word or a general promise. This is a divine appointment. The timing of this is perfect. The alignment is not accidental. You are being invited to partner with something heaven has already finished. Your miracle has already been spoken into existence. The battle for it has already been won in the Spirit. The delay wasn't a sign of abandonment, it was a preparation for this hour. The waiting purified your faith. The silence deepened your trust. And now, heaven says the time has come, but your response will determine whether you step into it or lose it. God is not asking for perfection from you. He is not demanding that you understand everything. He is only asking that you don't ignore this. That you don't let the noise of life drown out the voice of heaven. Because when you honor what God is doing, when you respond in faith instead of fear, you take hold of what is already yours. The miracle isn't being created now, it's being delivered. The breakthrough isn't being formed, it's being handed to you. But if you look away, if you hesitate, if you treat this like every other moment, the heavens will close again, not in anger, but in protection. Do you know why everyone's whispering about this 7-second CIA ritual? A brainwave ritual leaked from the CIA is changing lives across the globe. Proven by neuroscience, this 7-second method helps regular people attract money, freedom, and luxury. If you're seeing this, you're very lucky, the page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments to know this secret before it's deleted forever. Your miracle is not fragile, but it is holy. It has been marked by God, and heaven watches over it closely. That is why Archangel Michael is speaking with such clarity and force now. He doesn't speak without reason. When Michael speaks, it is because something divine is at risk. And right now, your miracle is at a crossroads. It has arrived, but it must be received. It has been given, but it must be guarded. And the only way to do that is with your full attention and your full surrender. Heaven's favor has not passed you by. Even if you feel unworthy. Even if you feel overlooked. God is not limited by your feelings. He chose you before you knew how to choose Him. He appointed this hour for your life before you were formed in the womb. And now, everything in heaven and earth is bending to bring this promise to life in you. But you must not ignore it. Because this is a final call. If you do not open your heart now, if you do not lift your eyes in faith, the miracle will return to the throne, waiting for a heart that will treasure it. The power of God is hovering near you even now. The atmosphere around you is charged with something you cannot see, but your spirit can feel. That stirring in your chest, that weight pressing gently on your soul, is the nearness of divine movement. Don't run from it. Don't brush it off. Lean into it. Breathe it in. Let it break you open if it must, because what God is doing is real, and it's here, and it's personal. Comment 777 if you are ready to walk into this with the fullness of your faith. The enemy has tried everything to stop this. He used delays to make you bitter. He used silence to make you question. He used heartbreak to make you hard. But he failed. Because no matter how long it took, you are still here, listening, waiting, hoping. That is why your miracle is here now. Because you didn't let go. And heaven always honors endurance. But even now, the enemy is watching. He knows the miracle is close. He knows the breakthrough is within reach. That is why doubt may be whispering louder. That is why distractions may be increasing. Because if he can get you to delay just a little longer, the moment will pass. Heaven cannot pour out a sacred promise into hands that are distracted or full of fear. This is the moment to let go of every other voice, every other thought, every other fear. This is the moment to grab hold of what God is placing in front of you and not let go. The angels have fought hard for this. There have been battles you'll never know about. There were attacks meant to destroy you before you even knew what was happening. But Michael stood over you. He guarded the miracle through storms you didn't see. And now, he's handing it to you with urgency in his voice. He's telling you this is the final chance to embrace it. If you delay, if you look away, if you wait for a sign that's more convenient or more comfortable, it will be taken back. Not because you're unworthy, but because heaven cannot leave sacred things unguarded. Comment 999 if you are receiving this in full trust and faith. You are not here by accident. You are here because your name was spoken in the highest court of heaven. You are here because God has seen your tears and heard your hidden prayers. You are here because angels have stood guard around your home, your family, your future. And now, they are opening the way. The miracle is not just about what you want, it is about what heaven has ordained for your life. It is bigger than your need. It is tied to your calling. It is connected to generations after you. That is why this moment matters so deeply. You have cried, you have fasted, you have begged God for change, for answers, for something to break loose. And now it has. But the doorway is open only for a breath. Heaven is moving swiftly, and angels do not tarry when divine orders have been fulfilled. The atmosphere you are in right now is pregnant with promise. The reason it feels different, heavier, more urgent, is because this isn't just a word of encouragement. This is an alert in the spirit realm. Archangel Michael doesn't bring soft messages. He carries messages with fire because what he protects is sacred. What he releases has eternal weight. And your miracle is resting on the edge of either manifestation or withdrawal. Comment 1010 if you are receiving this with holy attention and spiritual seriousness. There are turning points in every life. Moments that divide the past from the future. This is one of those moments. There will be the time before this word came and the time after. God is doing something final in you right now. Not final in ending, but final in fullness. What you have endured was never to destroy you. It was to shape you into someone who could carry glory without crumbling. The silence that almost shattered you was training for this hour. The loss that nearly broke you was preparing you to receive something that cannot be lost again. You are stepping into territory that hell has tried to keep you from. And the reason this warning is so sharp, so immediate, is because the enemy is pacing at the borders. If he can get you to ignore this, to brush it off, to wait a little longer, then the miracle will lift, the moment will close, and what was meant to be yours now will be delayed again. God is merciful, but He is not casual. His promises are true, but they are also holy. And when He sends Archangel Michael to speak, it is because the hour requires clarity, not comfort. Why is the government hiding this 7-second brain ritual from the public? A leaked CIA document just exposed a brain technique so powerful, it's helping people cancel debt and call in wealth within days. Validated by 4 top neuroscience labs, this method is changing everything. But this secret won't stay online long. Click the link in description and comments now to access it before it's permanently deleted. You must understand that the spiritual activity around you has increased not because you are in danger, but because your breakthrough is within reach. When angels arrive in numbers, when the power of heaven thickens in the air around your life, it is not random. It is because the battle has been won and now the victory is being delivered. But it must be received by someone who understands the weight of this hour. That is why Michael is standing, sword in hand, not just as your protector but as heaven's witness to your response. God never needed your perfection, only your surrender. He never demanded your constant strength, only your trust. And through every valley, through every unanswered prayer, He was preparing you for this divine encounter. Now, your miracle has arrived, but the Spirit warns that delay in heart or delay in action can cause it to pass by. This is a thin place between earth and heaven. You must move with it. You must say yes without hesitation. You must let go of the fear that held you back and open your hands to what God is pouring out. Comment 1515 if your soul is responding right now with boldness and faith. You are not just being blessed. You are being positioned. This miracle is not just a gift, it's a setup for greater responsibility. What God is handing you is connected to your purpose. It carries the oil of your calling. That's why it matters so deeply. That's why the warning must be heeded. If you ignore this, the moment doesn't only affect you, it affects everything tied to your destiny. Every soul your life was meant to touch, every prayer you were meant to answer for someone else, every door you were supposed to open with the keys now being handed to you, will be left waiting. That is why Archangel Michael speaks with fire now. The miracle in your hands was not easy to win. The angels warred in the spirit while you slept. There were battles on your behalf that you never saw, never felt, never even knew existed. But Michael saw them. He fought in them. He guarded the promise. And now, He has come not to persuade you, but to proclaim, your miracle is here. Your breakthrough has arrived. But if you close your heart, if you numb your spirit, if you treat this moment like all the others, it will not remain. Heaven is not cruel. But heaven is holy. What is sacred must be stewarded, or it is withheld until the vessel is ready. And you, beloved, are ready. That is why the release has come. That is why this divine message is not about hope someday, it's about the now. The miracle is not waiting for you to become someone else. It's responding to the faith you have already shown in secret. To the tears you cried without anyone knowing. To the worship you gave even when your world felt empty. There are moments that shape destiny. Moments where faith must meet fire and stand firm. This is that kind of moment. The miracle is not future tense anymore, it is present, tangible, available. But the window to receive is narrow. The Spirit is moving quickly, and what has arrived carries weight, purity, and purpose. It is not an ordinary blessing. It is sacred. It is heaven sent. That's why the warning is also sharp. Not because God is impatient, but because what He's giving now is too holy to linger in a place of uncertainty or delay. Comment 1717 if you feel this word piercing through every wall and reaching your spirit deeply. God's timing is always perfect, but it rarely feels predictable. That's because He is not operating on human terms. His miracles are released when hearts are surrendered, not when circumstances look ready. And now, your heart has reached a place of readiness, even if you don't feel like it. The surrender you offered in silence, the praise you gave when it didn't make sense, the trust you showed when everything around you looked empty, those moments were not wasted. They became the keys that opened this door. But now that the door is open, you must walk through it. You must respond in fullness. The enemy will try to plant hesitation. He will whisper that you are not ready, that this isn't real, that it's safer to wait. But every second of delay is a risk, because the Spirit will not remain where there is no honor. This miracle must be welcomed with faith and reverence. Michael is not warning out of fear. He is declaring a truth that cannot be overlooked. Heaven gives in fullness, but it also withdraws in silence when ignored. Your life has been under divine surveillance. The hand of God has never left you. Even when you could not trace Him, He was surrounding you. Even when you felt alone, heaven was fighting for you. Michael has been guarding the promise over your life like a sword-bearer guarding a royal scroll. The moment has come for that scroll to be opened and declared over you. But if your heart is not awake, the message will return unopened. You must let this settle deeply in your spirit. Your miracle is not just something to be received. It is something to be protected. It carries the oil of your calling. It holds the answers to prayers that have gone back generations. It has the weight of future lives tied to your obedience. That's why it matters so much. That's why heaven is not passive. And that's why the angelic warning is final. Comment Amen if you receive the weight and the wonder of this truth right now. God is not just working for your comfort, He is working through you to fulfill a greater purpose. That's why this miracle is not just about you. It will ripple into the lives of others. It will heal more than your pain. It will restore legacies. It will shift atmospheres. It will open doors that others around you have been waiting on. But none of that can happen if you don't act now. Can 7 seconds really change your bank account overnight? A CIA-funded study just leaked, revealing a brain ritual that's flipping lives from broke to blessed. 4 neuroscience labs confirm it activates powerful wealth attraction brainwaves. People are now stepping into dream homes and luxury lifestyles. But this breakthrough won't stay online for long. Click the link in the description and comments now before it's deleted forever. There is a trembling in the spirit realm. A sense of movement, of urgency, of divine change. That feeling you can't quite describe, the way your heart knows something is happening even though you can't see it yet, that is not emotion. That is confirmation. The angels are moving around you. Michael is standing close. The power of the Most High is resting upon your home, your name, your body, your future. This is not a motivational moment. It is a holy one. And it will either be honored or missed. There is no fear in God's love, but there is reverence. This is not the time to wait for another sign. This is not the time to second guess. This is the time to say, Lord, I receive this miracle. I will not delay. I will not let it pass me by. Because the truth is, the miracle has not only arrived, it is waiting to be embraced. You were never forgotten. The delays were never abandonment. They were divine strategy. And now, the gates have opened and what was held back for years is pouring forth like a flood. But the moment is brief. The door will not stay open forever. You must walk through with trembling faith and holy boldness. Comment 222 if your soul is walking through that open door right now. Heaven has already moved. Now it waits for you. The miracle has been fought for, guarded, and delivered. It is not coming, it is here. Let your heart take hold of it. Let your spirit rise in response. This is not another waiting season. This is the hour of release. And heaven is watching for the ones who will recognize it, honor it, and step into it without hesitation. There is no room for fear now. There is no space for hesitation. God has waited for this moment just as much as you have. And not because He needed time to prepare the answer, but because He was preparing you to receive it. What you're standing in now is not just the reward for endurance, it is the reward for faith that held even when nothing made sense. You were not forgotten. You were being refined. Comment 11:11 if your faith has been tested but you are still believing, still standing, still ready. This miracle is holy. It was formed in the mouth of God and carried through battlefields by angels who never once let go of your name. The enemy tried everything to stop this moment. He came after your mind, your health, your relationships, your future. And still, you stood. Still, you believed. Even if your faith felt like only a whisper, heaven saw it. And heaven has honored it. But now heaven is watching for your response. Not a delayed one. Not a hesitant one. A wholehearted yes that says, Lord, I know this is you. I receive what you are doing. Because if you hold back, if you stay silent, if you delay your surrender, the miracle cannot remain. It is not because you are being punished. It is because heaven will not force its gifts into a heart that will not honor the moment. Michael has not come empty-handed. He has come with divine delivery. But also with divine protection. Because what is being given to you is not just beautiful, it is weighty. It carries oil. It carries fire. It carries power. And that power is not meant to sit in silence. It is meant to move you into your calling, your destiny, your divine season. That is why this moment is so serious. That is why the warning cannot be ignored. This is not a message to make you feel inspired for a moment and then move on. This is the voice of heaven saying, this is your hour. You have been carried through too much, protected from too much, anointed for too much to miss what God is placing into your life right now. This miracle is personal. It is marked with your name. But only you can decide whether you will step into it fully or let it pass by. Comment Amen if you feel the Spirit confirming this in the depths of your heart. God is not vague. He is not confusing. He does not dangle hope in front of you just to take it away. When He moves, it is final. When He speaks, it is clear. And this is what He is saying now: your miracle has finally arrived, but it will not remain available to a heart that closes itself off. It must be held with awe. It must be treated as sacred. This is a thin moment in the Spirit, a divine intersection that will not happen again the same way. Every prayer you thought was forgotten was actually building a foundation. Every tear you cried in silence watered the very soil that is now bursting forth with breakthrough. The Lord was never absent. He was always building something greater than you could see. And now that the structure is complete, now that the time is right, heaven has dropped the miracle into your space. You don't need to search for it. It is here. But it must be received. This is not just a moment of receiving. It is a moment of awakening. Something inside of you must rise and declare, "This is mine. I will not miss this. I will not sleep through the most divine moment of my life." Because what is being handed to you is not a temporary comfort, it is a turning point. If you miss this moment, the road ahead becomes longer. The night becomes heavier. Not because God is punishing, but because heaven waits for a heart that knows how to guard what is holy. Comment 333 if your spirit is waking up to the weight of what's happening in this very moment. The angels are still surrounding you. Michael has not left. He is watching, not to test you, but to witness your response. Because every miracle that is released comes with a choice, to step forward or to stay still. And God cannot release the next chapter of your destiny if you ignore the page He is trying to turn right now. Could this 7-second CIA brainwave trick be your fastest ticket to luxury? Recently leaked research shows a simple brain ritual that's allowing people to attract wealth effortlessly. Proven by 4 neuroscience labs, this technique is transforming debt into abundance, instantly. Homes, cars, and vacations are just the beginning. If you're seeing this now, you're very lucky. The page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments to know this secret before it's deleted forever. This miracle carries the sound of heaven. It carries the breath of God. And it will awaken things in you that have been buried by years of sorrow and disappointment. It will stir up dreams you thought were too far gone. It will bring healing in places you forgot were still hurting. But it must be received with full surrender. This is not about fixing everything in your life first. It is about saying, "Yes, God, I am ready now. Yes, I believe you. Yes, I will guard what you give." You may still feel broken. You may still feel unsure. But the miracle is not waiting for your feelings, it is waiting for your faith. You don't need to have everything together to receive this. You just need to be willing. You just need to be awake. You just need to know, deep in your soul, that this is not another moment to watch pass by. You are in the middle of divine movement. Everything you've been through was not in vain. The losses, the crushing disappointments, the prayers that felt unanswered, heaven was never deaf to your pain. The delay was not punishment. It was divine timing. And now the timing has reached fullness. The hour has struck. The veil has lifted. The miracle has arrived. Not in part. Not in fragments. But in completion. Heaven has moved with urgency for your sake. The angels have been dispatched with your name sealed in their orders. There is no confusion in the spirit realm about who you are. You are not overlooked. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. And with that choosing comes responsibility. That is why Michael speaks not only with comfort but with finality. He has not come to comfort a delay. He has come to release a miracle and to warn that its presence will not linger if it is not received. This is not a threat. This is a cry for your attention. Because what's before you is not just another opportunity. It's a divine moment that carries the weight of the season you are about to enter. God does not move in confusion. When He sends a miracle, it is because it is time. And this time has your name written across it. Comment 555 if you feel the shift taking place even now, deep in your soul. Everything around you is being reordered. The battle has already shifted in your favor. The spiritual tension you felt was not a warning of danger but a sign of delivery. The resistance came because the enemy saw what was being released into your atmosphere. He saw the miracle before you did. That's why the pressure increased. That's why the warfare intensified. Because hell knows that once you receive this miracle, everything changes. But miracles do not rest in confusion. They rest in clarity. The moment has come for you to say it aloud with no hesitation, "This is my miracle, and I will not let it pass me by."